Hi, everybody. Well, people would say Christmas is over. It's the 26th today. However, I have a little bit of a good news cruising story that is a little bit of a Christmas miracle. So, if you're a pet lover, you have a dog, you have a cat, many times we wish that we could bring our pets with us on the cruise ship. Of course, there's many reasons we don't. First of all, they could just jump overboard. Second of all, people have allergies to our pets. Thirdly, it's a cleanup issue. Nobody wants, we're disgusting enough for the poor room stewards. We don't need them going into a room and having, dog and cat stuff around the room that, passengers have brought on board. Now, they do make room for service dogs and things like that, stuff that is medically required for some people. There are. And also, Cunard has a kennel on board. Now, you can't keep the dogs or cats in your room, but you can bring them with you, say on a transatlantic, so they're with you in Europe and everything. As long as you have all the medical stuff done that will go through customs and security and border, protections and all that. It's a big deal. A lot of paperwork needs to be done. And most people think, I'll just keep my pet at home while I'm cruising. However, there was a person in Australia that decided they're going to bring their cat on the cruise. And the way they did it, you're thinking, well, how in the world would you get a cat through security, right? Your luggage is checked, your carry-on is checked, it's scanned, it's got to go through metal detectors, etc. Wouldn't they see a big cat outline, in the radar and wonder what the heck that is? Wouldn't the cat be struggling and things like that? Well, apparently they think that they sedated the cat, knocked it out so it's sleeping, and then put it under a bulky shirt, sweater, coat, like that, and went through security that way, like a fake pouch. And, people wouldn't think anything. They're bringing people in. They're looking for metal. They're not looking for somebody sneaking a cat onto the cruise ship. Now, the cruise set sail. It was a 3-week-long Hawaii to Sydney cruise with stops in, New Zealand. Well, during a routine inspection approaching New Zealand, that border security and customs was checking the random places and random cabins. This is what they do when you go there. They're looking for fruits and vegetables and plants that are banned, that could hit and hurt the ecosystem in New Zealand. They take that very seriously, right? How many ships have been turned away because their hulls weren't clean enough? They take biosecurity very, very serious. Well, that's when they discovered the cat. Now, here's the bad news. When they discover an animal on board, what they do is they euthanize the cat. So this person basically was going to have their cat killed because they were trying to smuggle it onto a cruise ship. Now, that's not where the story goes. I'm not going to tell you a death of a cat story on as a Christmas miracle. No, that would be sad. But Royal Caribbean stepped up and they took over the cat. And they said that they will look after the cat and protect it and pay for anything, any shots, etc. that, the Border Control Services said that they would absolutely have to do, because obviously they didn't want this poor cat to be suffered for the owner's absolute stupidity. And I'll say that, stupidity, because, that's a dangerous thing to have for your animal, an absolutely dangerous thing for your animal. Now, the good news is that Royal Caribbean took over and the cat was adopted by one of the customer service representatives from Royal Caribbean. And the cat is now safe, happy, and spending Christmas in the warm climate of Miami. I am so glad that somebody stepped up, because it's not the cat's fault. It's not the cruise line's fault. It's the owner's fault, period, for trying to sneak a cat and going to great lengths to sneak a cat onto a cruise ship. And I'm an animal lover of all kinds, cats, dogs, you name it. When I'm walking around and I'm walking through Greece and I'm walking through places in the Caribbean, if I see an animal, you know that big saying, don't pet the animals? I'm that guy who doesn't listen. I go right up and I'll pet, and I've been scratched many, many times because the cats sometimes just go, yeah, I don't want you to touch me. But I'm that guy who wants to. I just love dogs, cats, pets of all kinds. And this kind of story, as far as the owner is concerned, infuriates me, because they could have had their loving pet destroyed because they did something stupid. And I just, it drives me nuts. But I wanted to thank Royal Caribbean, especially the person who adopted the cat, and Royal Caribbean stepping up and paying for all the expenses of getting the cat to Miami, of getting all the shots, getting all the paperwork that has to be done to get that cat safely back to the United States. So much had to be done, and they could have just gone, Border Control, go ahead, take the cat. It's sad, but we didn't do it. And you guys are the one taking it, not us, so it's not really our responsibility, but they didn't. They stepped up to the plate, and that cat is probably much better off now in that loving home in Miami, right by the ocean, looking at those cruise ships and thinking, whew, boy, I'm a lucky cat.